Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're looking at the new Ford Ranger. So I went to the auto show here in Utah and they had some cool vehicles, and one of them was the new Ford Ranger. Now, the one you'll see in the video is a Lariat trim. I really wish they would have brought over the Ranger Raptor, but it's okay. Any 24 Ranger is worth a look because it was my first time actually seeing it in person. And so, yeah, that's that. And before we get into the video, as always, if you're gonna save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. And then after the walk-around portion of this video, I'll have a sneak peek of some other vehicles that I also filmed at the auto show. And so, yeah, let's just get right into it. Let's take a look at the Ford Ranger. First off, it's still powered by the same turbocharged 2.3 liter four-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Puts out 270 horsepower and then 310 pound-feet of torque. Obviously, the Raptor version gets the V6, but yeah, the standard Ranger is still gonna be powered by a four-cylinder. Now, I think the new headlight design actually looks pretty sharp. I think it does look better than the previous gen Ranger. And then you guys can see there with the front grille. Again, interesting design. If you've seen the Ford Everest that's built overseas, it's literally a Ranger SUV. And it has the same front end, and so I'm, you know, that kind of, I don't know, I feel like I've seen this front end quite often because of the Everest. But I was actually surprised by the tire and wheel setup here. A decent amount of sidewall there on the tires, and yeah, I think I zoomed in on the rating right there. It looks like 255-ish for the width. But yeah, again, decent sidewall, decent tread pattern, not the most aggressive, but I mean, for a Lariat, I think it's pretty nice if you ask me. And then notice the fender flare is painted just like before, and you can see the Lariat badge there on the side as well. And this color I thought looked pretty cool on top of that. I like how the fender kind of pops out. And don't mind the people, it's an auto show, it happens. So you can see the leaf springs there in the back. So the Raptor version, I'm pretty sure gets multi-link. I mean, I'll see that when I review my friend's Ranger Raptor that's coming in. But yeah, it's still leaf springs for the standard. And they actually had a window sticker on it. It doesn't have pricing, but at least it shows you the standard equipment that comes with the Lariat. And I imagine the Lariat package was probably going to cost like close to 50 grand. Mid-sized pickup trucks are just pricey nowadays. But yeah, you can see pretty loaded up. Azure gray. Of course, that's why I like the color. Love azure gray. It's this cool color. And then the bed, you know, didn't really notice, the dimensions in the truck seem pretty similar to before. I didn't really notice a big change with the overall dimensions. And by the way, I touched that because this is like the first time I've seen a Ford with a bed liner from the factory. I am going to call shots because it's crazy. Like most of the trucks that Ford delivers, no bed liner. I thought it was cool with the double outlets in the bed as well. And yeah, I mean, decent size again for a mid-size pickup truck. The tailgate was really light. I thought that was cool. And then the taillights, I think they look better than the previous gen. But I will say, just like the previous gen Ranger, the truck, I don't know, maybe it just has to grow on me. It kind of already looks outdated in a way. It doesn't look super futuristic. But I said the same thing about the Maverick when it came out, and now I love the Maverick styling. So I think it's just something that has to grow on me. And then you guys can see here, you got like the step on the side of the bumper. I thought that was a pretty cool feature. And then with the door panel, you can see soft touch there. Hard touch plastic beyond that, which is pretty typical for mid-sized pickup trucks. Decent storage. And then I thought the seats were actually pretty nice in the Lariat. Again, a lot of this actually reminds me of the Maverick. And the thing to know about the seats is they're comfortable. The materials don't necessarily feel the nicest, but I think they feel like they're going to last a decent amount of time, so I think that's what's the most important. Of course, it has a cup holder armrest. That's also extremely important as well. And then I think the rear window looked like it was power. And headroom, I mean, I was not quite touching the top, but it was, you know, mid-sized pickup trucks, they're not the most spacious in the back. Can you kind of, you know, take that for kids usually. Now the front door panel is actually soft touch at the top too, which was a nice addition. And then you got the nice stitching throughout. And again, they're definitely trying to make it look more luxurious, but then they mix in like the memory seat buttons and all that are still very plasticky. Blind spot monitoring there. And then this was cool. It actually had a payload sticker, so got to show that. 1,585 pounds. That's impressive for a mid-sized pickup truck. There are full-size pickup trucks with less payload. And then the front seats, I thought they looked pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of the seats in the new Escape, kind of. And that's the theme of the Rangers. A lot of it reminds me of the Escape. Steering wheel, not as like updated as you'd think. Like you can see with the buttons there on the steering wheel, They are different than before, but I don't know, like some of the stuff in the Fords just looks not the most high end, I suppose. But again, it's a mid-sized pickup truck, right? It's not a luxury car. And then you can see the infotainment system, like the climate controls and everything there at the bottom, and vertical layout. I mean, you guys let me know if you think that's cool. And then notice we got the trailer brake controls, and I thought the engine stop start on the side was interesting. It's something that would take me a while to get used to. And then, yeah, I do like the fact they have physical buttons. You got to give Ford props for doing that. And then soft touch on the dash, just like on the Expedition, where it's just the front part soft touch and the rest is just hard touch plastic. Double glove box. I think it's the first time I've seen this in a mid-sized pickup truck. Super impressive. Good job, Ford. They did a good job with the storage in this truck. Despite the fact that it's not very big, again, they did a really good job with just putting storage all over. So you got to give Ford props for that. Yeah, the shifter, I don't know about that. It's got the manual mode, which is cool, but it's a weird kind of thing. You have to feel it to understand. It's kind of like a mix between a Nissan shifter they have and then like a real shifter. It's weird. And you can see stuff like the rear locking differential, which always nice to have that. And we got the drive mode selected. It had a cool feel to the dial, so I think they did a good job with that. And then no 4-wheel auto, just a 2-speed transfer case, which again, that's fine for the segment. I don't think there's, maybe the Colorado, the Canyon, they had the 4-wheel auto. But anyways, nice trim in the center console. No center for anything like that. But let me know what you guys think about the new Ranger. Obviously, I'll have full reviews coming shortly, and there's the old man slippers. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about it, and I'm excited to get a real review in the future.
This is